Hello and welcome back to the Find Your Feet podcast, a podcast show dedicated to helping you get closer to your true authentic self by helping you find your feet in life. Welcome to episode 67.
And today, this episode is all about you guys. For our anniversary, we wanted to celebrate you. And Grace actually had the fabulous idea of inviting some of the finders on to the show to hear their Finding Your Feet journey. And it was spectacular. I literally loved it.
Yeah, it was so beautiful to actually connect and speak to you. Obviously, we connect with some of you guys on Instagram and like our workshops, but it was just so nice to see your face on the other end of the screen and have a chat with you about how you found your feet in life. So yeah, it was absolutely amazing. We've got 3 very, very special finders on the show today: Amiey, Nikki, and Chris, who all share their unique story. They've all got a very, very individual, different story with learnings, like different learning. Like nobody said the same thing. Everyone had a different story, so it's all come from different angles. They've all got different wisdom to share with you, and it's just amazing. So we're so excited to get into it for you guys to hear this, and it's just such a special episode, like for everybody. Everyone in the community today. This is a very, very special episode.
Yeah, it was. I feel like we were emotional through like all of them. It was such a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And there's so much to take away from this episode. Like they had such good tips. Like I really enjoyed what they said. So yeah, definitely get ready to listen and take some of their amazing tips as well.
Yeah, like they were so inspiring, and like there's parts when I literally like honestly my eyes were like watering, like listening to your stories, because you're all so inspiring and like so brave, because you're all on your own self-development journeys. Everyone that listens to this podcast is working on themselves, so it was just amazing to hear your stories, and you just love hearing other humans' life stories. It's so interesting. So yes, we're so excited about this episode, and we can't wait to get into it. But while we've also been reflecting on our 1 year in podcasting, a big part of our journey has been being sponsored by BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp are a professional, secure online counselling service who set you up with a therapist in under 48 hours. So no matter what your problem is, if it's anxiety, depression, grief, OCD, you're just feeling blocked, whatever it is that you need to work on, there's a therapist on there that has the expertise and the high qualifications to be able to support you. And they'll set you up with them in just 2 days. And even if it turns out you're not too keen on your therapist, you can change for free as many times as you want until you find the right person for you.
Yeah, we are literally so happy to be sponsored by BetterHelp. They've been a huge part of our journey. And it's just incredible how big they are and how many people they help around the world. There are over 1 million people using BetterHelp today. And that just like makes my soul happy because they are making therapy that little bit more accessible for people. And as Grace said, you can get seen very quickly. It's very accessible. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. And not only that, it is way more affordable than your traditional offline counselling. So BetterHelp are giving our listeners 10% off their first month. So it will go from around £50 per week to around £40, which is much cheaper than traditional therapy.
Yeah, it's much more affordable, which is so amazing, because I think everybody needs therapy at some point in their life. I've done it multiple times. You're doing it right now. And there's obviously loads of you guys that have actually used this service and have come and spoke to us and said how amazing it's been. And we're really proud of everybody who's taken the step to embark on their therapy journey. But yeah, it's a resource that we all need at some point in our life, and there's no shame in it. You don't need to wait until like literally the wheels are all falling off to get it. Like that's not what you're doing. You're getting it now as part of your growth journey. You just want to learn some more about yourself. There's no like right or wrong time to go to therapy, and it's such a brave thing to do. And I just love how accessible BetterHelp makes it. It's just an online service. You can log in, access your account anytime, message your therapist. You'll always get a quick response. And you can so easily set up weekly video or phone sessions with your therapist and get the support you need literally from the comfort of your own home. So to get the discount for our listeners, all you need to do is go to the link betterhelp.com/finding your feet. That's betterhelp.com/find your feet. We've put the link in the show notes. Just click through there, fill out the questionnaire. It doesn't take long at all, like 5 minutes to set up your account, and then they'll set you up with the therapist in 2 days and you can start being seen. But like we said, everybody deserves therapy if they want it. It's life-changing. There's no shame in it, and you are so worth investing in to get the support if you need it.
Yeah, exactly. As we keep saying, healing is the new cool and you are so worth it. So if you want that help, then BetterHelp is a great option.
Yes, but let's get into today's episode. We're going to start off with Nikki. Start off with a bang. Really love chatting to Nikki. She's got a lovely story all about her self-love journey. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so I'd like to start by inviting the lovely Nikki onto our show. Nikki, thank you so much for agreeing to come on our anniversary episode.
Oh, thank you for having me. It feels like surreal being a part of it.
You're like literally such a ball of positive energy. Like we literally love you. So I'm really happy we got to speak with you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you actually emailed in, because you emailed in right at the last, like right before we were about to pick people out. And then obviously we picked this out of a hat because we couldn't decide on everyone. But I'm really glad that we pulled your name. And I'm glad that you emailed in, because I was like, you left us that amazing review. She's got a really good story.
Yeah.
I'd love it if she was somebody who emailed in, and then you did last minute and now you're here. So that's amazing.
I know.
But I just firstly want to say thank you as well for just being such a support of our podcast, always listening, always interacting with us on Instagram, and you've come to our workshops. You're a big part of our community, and we really, really appreciate your support. So just wanted to start off by just saying thank you for being you.
Yeah. No, thank you, girls, because honestly, your podcast, everything you've brought along with it, it's just been great. And obviously, as I will talk about, it's really benefited me. So no, thank you both.
Oh.
So let's kick off with you. What is your own finding your feet story in your own life? How have you found your feet? Was there a turning point for you where everything changed? What is your story, Nikki?
Yeah. So I've always been very, very like I'm probably to look quite a confident person, but I did have very low self-esteem. Always cared about what people thought of me, like ridiculous. Even like I had really bad like paranoia, even with like my best friends, like that I've been friends with since I was 4 years old. I just worry that all the time what I've said or have I offended someone. I just constantly have really bad paranoia with everyone. And yeah, I just cared about what people thought of me. And it affected like my relationships, with friends, partners, things like that. In my 20s, definitely. I remember I did actually in my 20s get 2 books. I got the Chimp Paradox one, and I got the Life Changing Magic of Not Giving a Beep. And
Yeah.
I read about half of them, and I was like, no, I'm not going to change. No one can change me. This is me. I care what people think. I'm paranoid. I just thought I couldn't be changed, kind of thing, and I couldn't learn to love myself and go on that journey. So yeah, I was at a point where I was just like, nah, whatever. And yeah, I in my 20s, I was very cared what I looked like. I'd cane the gym. I'd like say no to some social events because of eating and things like that, and I'd always calorie count. And then the turning point was, so it's been an ongoing thing, like my low self-esteem and things like that.
Yeah.
But the turning point was actually lockdown 2. So in November for England, I don't think I've ever struggled with like anxiety before, but I definitely did. I was like, just crying for no reason, just struggling to catch my breath. I couldn't even explain why I was sad because, I've got a loving family, loving friends, loving partner. But I was just, it just overwhelmed me. And that's when I was like, right, something needs to change. And it was affecting my relationship with Paul. I was just so like argumentative and just constantly so sensitive. And and that was my turning point when it was getting to my relationship and I was feeling anxious and things like that. So I think my friend suggested, because I can't complain about my life. I'm so lucky. I needed to kind of take a step back and be grateful. So my friend suggested, write down what you're grateful for. So that's how it started. I just started writing down 3 things I'm grateful for and some affirmations because I knew I needed to start working on loving myself because that was definitely making me this, paranoid, low self-esteem person because I didn't love myself. And then I was part of the Courtney Black Facebook group and I saw someone saying podcast and they mentioned you girls. So I was like, I'll have a listen. And then, that was it. I just started listening and I took it slow. I didn't delve straight into everything you girls said. I just was like, right, start with the journaling. So I started just introducing different things into my life and things like that. But just hearing you girls, like your tips and how the mind, you know, how we can rewire our mind and everything, it just built me up so much more. And yeah, to look back at myself like a year from now to now, I genuinely, I do feel different. Like I do love myself. I can see why people love me, and I believe they love me. I'm more confident, like in my own skin. I don't over exercise now. I don't calorie count. I just exercise to enjoy it. I don't care what people think now. I used to, like, anything I put on social media, I'd be like, oh, I've had any likes, you know, who's anything like that. But now I don't care. I do everything for me. So, and yeah, it's improved my relationship with Paul. We barely argue now because I can communicate better, and I can don't bottle up my emotions. I can talk to him, and I just, like, I've embraced my little quirks and things like that, and it's just made me so happier completely. And yeah, it's been amazing, and yeah, it has literally been life-changing.
Oh, that story makes me emotional.
Yeah,
Literally,
I
I
was
feel like my eyes
thinking
are
that.
watering. I just love that, and I love. Thank you for being like brave and vulnerable, and, you know, sharing that with us now, and for everybody that's going to listen to it. 'Cause I think a lot of people really, really benefit from hearing that, because I think so many people
Good.
struggle with not loving themselves and everything that you've just said, worrying about what people think, feeling paranoid, and don't feel like they can get to the other side where they can sit there and say, I love myself, and I can see the reason why other people love me too. That's such a strong place to get to. And I think a lot of people, when they're on the other side and they don't love themselves, they can really feel like it's impossible to get there. But you saying that, it's evidence for them to hear the power of transformation and how quickly it can actually be done when you put your mind to it. It's like you said, your turning point was in the second lockdown. That wasn't that long ago. That was like 6 months ago, 5 months ago, however long it was now. And you've come such a long way in a short space of time because you've applied yourself. You've started doing the journaling. You've done all the things. You've been obviously listening to what we've said, taking on the tips. And it doesn't actually have to take that long to turn things around once you put your mind to it. And you've just clearly shown that. So well done for like the power of transformation that you've had on yourself. It's amazing, and how you can now share that with other people, inspire other people. And yeah, just lovely story. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the same. Like when I was listening to that, I felt really emotional. Did you feel like that? I don't know. It's just such a beautiful story. I really love how, like, just the steps that you've taken, like you've done the work to change that around, like Grace said. And I also love how you said you started with gratitude, because we are always banging on, aren't we, about how the power of just like something as small as gratitude can really change your whole mindset. And I think just that little small tip, like implementing that into your life, can change your outlook straight away. So like, even by you saying that, someone's probably listening now thinking, oh my God, like I really need to start improving my gratitude. So it's a really good tip. But what would you say are your main practices now that you do to kind of keep you on that track and keep you improving every day?
So the main things that I've taken away from you girls, and I apply it to my everyday life. Well, most days, if I don't do some of these things, I can feel it. I'm like, oh, you need to do this tomorrow. Like, I know it helps. So I have got a little journal which gives me prompts for saying what I'm looking forward to in my day, which is nice. And affirmations. So I write down affirmation, and then there's a section like what I love and appreciate about myself. So similar to affirmations. But then if I feel like I've had a day where I need to spill more, I will just journal, just literally putting all my feelings on paper. But them things are a must that I do every day, my little daily prompts. And meditation, that was one thing I didn't grasp straight away. I think I only started doing that in about January, February. Again, like you girls talked about on the podcast about it can be a bit stereotyped, a bit hipster woo, but I love it. I love just, even if it's just 5 minutes, that just peace and the feeling after. I could feel really like stressed about something, or just something just agitating me, and then I can do a meditation and I feel like a completely different person. So no, that's one thing I do try and do every single day. So yeah, gratitude, affirmations, meditation, reading. Now I like reading much better books, self-development, which you girls again have recommended. And then just when I'm out for walks, you're not just focusing on, like, I love music, obviously. If I want to listen to music, I will listen to music because that makes me feel good. But also making sure I listen to podcasts, mainly you girls.
Yeah.
But I love as well that you talk about other ones to listen to, so I can delve into them. So yeah, it's just all them things together each day. They just make me feel amazing. And now, like I say, if I don't do some of them things, which some days I've not done any of them, and I can really feel the difference. So yeah, they're the main things that I do and love.
Amazing. I think Amy, who we were talking to before you, she said similar thing about the meditation, that somebody else had like suggested it to her and she didn't really fully grasp what it was. And I think because there's that preconceived idea that you're going to sit there with your legs crossed, omming and yomming with dreadlocks, and like when that's not what it is. And it's just like, it's just a simple thing that just has such, same way like doing exercise, going for a walk. It's just something that like you should just do all the time. It has such a big impact. So I'm really glad that you started doing that, and you've feeling the benefits. And
one thing I do as well. That's always been something I've done, but now I do it in a much more better way. I do it because I want to do it. I'm not doing it because I had a McDonald's last night or anything. I'm doing it because I enjoy the endorphins. So that's another thing I definitely do every day. Well, most days.
Yeah. That having that mindset shift on your exercise as well is so powerful. So many people do it to punish themselves, to earn their food and things like that, and that's not coming from a self-loving place. But you're obviously doing it now from a self-loving place. Everything you're doing is from a self-loving place, as you want to feel good, and obviously all of that stuff is going to make you feel good. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing. But so what is your one bit of advice, your one nugget of wisdom that you want to share with all the other finders, all the other listeners that are listening right now that are on their own finding their feet journey in their own lives? What's your little bit of advice for them, of just like one little thing that I just want to share?
No pressure. I'd just say, like, follow your own path, like obviously look at other people's journeys, look what they recommend, but don't feel too much pressure. Like, I think when I first started listening to you girls and trying to help myself in self-development, I was like, right, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, and then I need to do that, and do that. And it's like, no, just take it step by step, introduce these things into your life, make them habit. Like now, I see our little finders chat. I see girls that have crystals and things. I don't have anything like that, but I'm like, do I need to do that? But I'm like, introduce them if I want to introduce them. It's just about finding what works for you and not putting too much pressure on yourself. Like I said, I was like poorly the other week and I barely did anything. I was like, it's fine, you can go back to it, you can get back into it, just allow your body to rest and things like that. Kind of just follow your own path and do what works for you. Just because some other people are doing other things doesn't mean that's right for you. Take all the advice, take all the tips, but just do what works for you in the long run.
Yeah. That is like the perfect answer. I absolutely love that answer.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like a lot of people, sometimes you can get stuck in your own way when you think, oh, should I begin this? I haven't got this. Can I meditate if I've not got crystals? That's why we always say, like, just do what fits you. You don't need the whole shebang to do anything. Like, even with meditation, like, you can literally just sit on the edge of your bed and meditate for 5 minutes. Like, it doesn't need the whole performance. So yeah, I really love that answer. I feel like people would take away something great from that. So we wanted to ask you, Nikki, what has been your biggest takeaway from Finding Your Feet podcast?
I'd say my biggest takeaway is just learning about the power of our minds, like rewiring our beliefs, our thoughts, because that is something that used to be terrible in me, my thoughts, and like knowing that my thoughts are not me. If there's a bad thought that comes into my mind, I can be like, do one, and just welcome positive thoughts, and just how the power of your mind and how affirmations, gratitude just can rewire your whole mindset, which in the long run, it benefits your whole life, for manifesting. And I just feel now like because of knowing the power of my mind and like having a lot more clarity and feeling more aligned, I know what I want in life. I know where I want to be. And that's just something I know. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Of course, our minds are powerful, but I don't know. I just didn't realize the ins and outs, the depths, and the science behind it all. So that's definitely been a huge takeaway for me, and it's taught me so much.
Yeah, that is amazing. Because I think if we all realize the true power of our minds and how we can be in control of our thoughts and how we want to feel, and that we have the power to turn things around and make ourselves feel good, change our limiting beliefs and build new ones, then you really can just change your life and get everything that you want, manifest everything you want, just everything. So that's amazing. I absolutely love that. Thank you.
No, it's thanks to you girls. Honestly, it's been great. And I think obviously this pandemic's been horrendous, but having the time to myself, being in lockdown, it's really given me, it's opened my eyes. And now going back to work and stuff, I'm making sure it is going to be habit. It's going to be an everyday life with me, because I can see the benefits in already such a short space of time. So, if I continue this for forever, then
Exactly. I think that's what's been really good about this pandemic, is where some people have been furloughed and things like that, you get that little bit more breathing space to just kind of reflect on your life and start to implement these new habits, because you've got the time, and then you see the benefits, and then you're like, I don't want to give this up. So you're going to go I just feel like a lot of people are going to merge back out of this pandemic with such a better perspective on life, on themselves, on their health, their mental health, and how they showing up for themselves in that way and keep up all these good habits. I just think everybody was, as hard as this pandemic's been, I think some of the plus sides is that people are going to merge out of it. Just with all these new habits and better ways of thinking. So that's amazing. I've loved this. I've loved chatting to you. You are absolutely incredible. Just everything you've said, you're so inspiring. I feel so happy for you with how you've turned things around for yourself, and how you said your relationship with your partner has got so much better, as well as your relationship with yourself and everything. I just think this is just going to be so inspiring for people to hear, just to see how possible it is to turn things around for yourself, and that it doesn't need to take a really long time, and that you can just take back control and love yourself and feel this positive. So thank you so much, Nikki, for coming on. I'm really glad that we got you on.
Yeah, me too. I'm so grateful that you are within our community. You're a massive inspiration. And like Grace said, I think you will really inspire people the way you turn it around. You're just great. You're just like little ball of energy. Like I said at the start. Yeah, you're just so sweet. And just thank you for everything.
No, thank you. Honestly, it's been so great being on. I didn't send my email till last minute, so it was amazing when I saw that email. And if it can hopefully help someone else to just start that process, then brilliant. But it is a lot of it is thanks to you girls, and just giving me that push I needed to take the next step and do it all. So thank you both so much.
Can't wait till this pandemic's over properly and we can do proper retreats and stuff like we were saying, and then we can
workshops in person.
I can't wait to meet you all.
So good. Can't wait for that. That'll be brilliant to meet everyone in person.
Yeah, because I feel like all the people that regularly come to the workshops, the ones that are really active in the group chat, I feel like I already know you all.
All friends.
So
that's why I felt relaxed speaking to you both today, because it's
I feel like I already know
my friends. You. I'm like, it's fine. It's just a chat. Grace Nabby.
It's been amazing. Thank you, Nikki.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you both. Thank you very much for having me and making me feel very comfortable.
Oh, you're welcome. Wow, I love that. I absolutely love chatting to Nikki. She's literally so nice.
Yeah, she's absolutely lovely. Ball of energy. Great girl.
Yeah, but next up we have the incredible Amiey, which was also an absolute delight. Her story is so precious and so nice. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear this.
Yes, and she's gone through her own struggle and now dedicated her life to helping other people. So it's a beautiful story. Get ready for it. Okay, we'd like to welcome our first finder on today's anniversary episode. We've got Amiey here with us today.
Hi. Hello.
Thank you for coming on, Amiey. We really appreciate all your support of everything that you do, with supporting us on Instagram, always listening to the podcast, coming to our workshops. We never miss anybody who supports us a lot. So First of all, just wanted to say thank you for being part of our community. And
thank
oh,
yeah, thank you for great content.
So let's just start off by, what is your finding your feet story?
Well, so ever since like I was young, I've experienced like a lot of anxiety. So like when I was like 17, 18, I was experiencing like a lot of anxiety, but I didn't really know what it really was, because around then like there was not a lot of awareness of like anxiety or like mental health. And then like because of that, I really like wanted to help people, because I didn't really get a lot of help around then. So I decided to go to uni and do like a counselling degree. But unfortunately, when I went to uni, it was like a really like difficult experience. I had like a few like bad relationships, and that sort of like made everything worse, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like like I had like two bad relationships around like gaslighting, like all of them, like controlling, stuff like that. And that just like made my mental health really bad. And then like after leaving uni, I just had like really bad mental health. It didn't work for about a year. I couldn't like go to an interview or anything like that, because I'd have like a panic attack before it. And like just things were like really bad. And like like it was just really bad, turning to like alcohol, just all of that stuff. And like I didn't really know what to do, because I didn't like have an awareness of what like depression was, anxiety was. I didn't have like an awareness of like me or anything. So it was difficult, but in the end I decided to go for therapy. Like cognitive behavioral therapy, which sort of helped. And she recommended meditation. But at the time I thought like meditation, like that's not gonna really help. That I didn't really try it, because I thought like I tried it a few times, but I couldn't concentrate, so my mind would wander off. So I thought like, oh, that's it. Like I'm not good at it, so there's no point me trying it. But like after therapy, like I listened to your podcast and stuff, and sort of got a better understanding of meditation. So now I feel like that really helps.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, like it definitely helps. Yeah, and like I guess a turning point was sort of like having like a self-care routine with meditation, exercising, and like learning about like what toxic vibes are, such as like gaslighting, controlling, like having a good idea of what they are.
Yeah. So awareness is so important, isn't it? If you're not aware, then you can't know what's going on and how to manage it.
And self-awareness as well. Like you have like being aware of your emotions and what to do when you feel like anxious, angry, upset.
Yeah, amazing. It sounds like you've come a really long way, so well done to you. What is life like for Amy now? What is it you do now?
So I went to uni, did counselling, and like since then, like I went on sort of a journey with like not being able to work. So a few years ago, like I had to have a bit of therapy around like interviews and anxiety, and now like I've managed to get a job working for a mental health charity. So now I help people with their mental health, and also when they get so how to manage their money and stuff like
So
that.
amazing.
Yes, I have my own clients now. So I just started like this week. Yeah, so I have like my own clients, and I'm helping them with the mental health. But yeah, it's sort of like a dream job for me, because like back when I was at uni, that's sort of what I wanted to do, but I thought I'd never be able to. Sort of like had those limiting beliefs of, well, I won't be able to, but
And look at you now. That's
Yeah,
so amazing.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think what you were saying when you said you had anxiety when you were 16, 17, but you didn't actually know what it was. That was the same thing I was having panic attacks and everything, had no idea what it was because people were not speaking about it, wasn't common. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't spoken about in schools. There wasn't really anyone in the media speaking about it the way that it is now. And it was
Yeah.
actually on if you remember her, like Zoella, she was like the original YouTubers. I was watching her videos and she used to have really bad anxiety, and it was just from one of her videos of her speaking, saying what it was. I was like, oh, that's what I've got, because I just then just like suffered in silence with it. I thought, I can't explain what this is because I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
So it makes it so much more difficult, doesn't it, when you don't actually know what is going on.
Really.
So it's amazing how you've gone from that to your own struggles to now your job is dedicated to helping other people. I think that's what's so lovely about how people that go through like difficult time, experience something hard, come out the other side, they then know how they can, like, how they help themselves and they want to help other people. So I think that's amazing that you've now put
Yeah,
yourself on this path
absolutely.
where you're sharing your knowledge and you'll be impacting so
Oh,
many
thank
people, and that is
you.
so amazing.
Yeah, I really do hope so.
Yeah,
You
so
definitely will.
amazing.
I love that as well. Like you were just saying, it's like turning that pain into power, like because you felt lost in that
Yeah.
time, but now you're helping people. And that is literally just the most beautiful thing. It makes me very happy.
Yeah, like when you've experienced it yourself, sort of like mental health, you sort of have empathy towards clients, you know what they're
Mm,
experiencing. When you like didn't get help, like as you said, like when you were like 16, 17, there wasn't anything around. So like
mm.
being able to help people now, like it does mean a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing, and yeah, it's good work from you.
Thank
So would you say meditation and your therapy has been like the main practices that have like helped you? Like if somebody else was listening, what are your favorite practices that have helped you feel better with your anxiety and things like that you would recommend to some of the other finders that are going to be listening to this conversation?
I definitely say meditation.
Mm.
Also breath work and not
Yeah,
Breathe with James. Like,
breathe with
With a
James.
James.
yeah, he's really good. Like the first few times I did it, it felt like a bit intense because I never tried
Mm.
like breathing differently before. I thought that
Yeah,
would never work, but
yeah.
now I'm in a routine and I've like signed up to his, like his account, not account,
Oh,
like website.
amazing. Yeah, his website, yeah.
His,
Mhm.
yeah, and yeah, doing it a lot, like you see a difference,
Mm,
and just like
yeah,
looking after yourself, like exercising, eating well, sleeping well, like those three like really help, but you never really think that they would.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
For
sometimes I feel like it's the most simple things that actually help.
Yeah,
And yeah, I love how you said breath work because I feel like lately we're a bit obsessed with
Yeah,
breath
that's what
work.
we're doing. I feel like I'm doing that more than meditating at the
Yeah,
minute.
yeah, I love
yeah,
breath work
it
so
does
much. It's just so
help.
powerful.
Yeah, really, really, really powerful. But yeah, you're so right. Like sometimes when you're struggling with your mental health, you feel like you don't even know where to start to help it, but actually just the most simple things can be
Yeah,
the most impactful. Just making sure you're getting good sleep, good
good
nutrition,
sleep.
exercise, a bit of fresh air, all
Yeah,
those like just quite basic, simple things. You making sure first and foremost they're in order. That will really help you. So yeah, that's
absolutely.
some good tips from you. Um, so have you got any other like advice that you'd want to share to the other listeners right now, the other finders in the community, or like any advice for any of them that are on their journey of finding their feet in life? Like what's your one little bit of wisdom that you'd like to share?
Um, I would say like don't feel ashamed to like not feel okay. Like it's okay to like struggle, it's okay to
Mm,
have anxiety, and it's okay to ask for help, such
yeah.
as going to the GP or even like talking to someone that because like everyone struggles, but
Mm,
if you don't
Mm,
talk to people, you don't really know, but they're probably going to understand that
mm,
like they probably experience anxiety a bit themselves or, feel a bit depressed. So
yeah.
definitely like talk to someone, get help if you feel like you need to. Um, yeah, I feel like and also like know when to walk away from like bad situations and stuff like that. Always
Yeah.
like put yourself first,
Yeah.
basically.
100%.
Yeah, they're two very good tips. I feel like that to not be ashamed is a huge one, because it's all like that.
Yeah,
We all want to be happy, and sometimes if you're not feeling like up to that level, we do feel that little bit of shame. But I think, yeah, definitely talking openly is like the main thing, just getting it out into the air, sharing it
yeah,
with your friends, family, or maybe professional help, just that you're hurting, and that way you can move forward.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's really important. Like, don't feel like you're alone, basically.
Yeah, because so many people struggle at some point in their life with their mental health, and like we've all had our moments, and if we haven't had one yet, it will come in the future, and maybe actually, you know, that one friend that opened up to you will then make you feel more like, oh, okay, in the future if you get hit with it, you know what to do. So yeah, the power of
Yeah,
talking, sharing, is amazing. And yeah, of course there's no shame in, it's just like your physical health, mental health, physical health, same thing, it's just both just
yeah,
as important. So
it's important. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, it's really important.
So what has been your biggest takeaway from our podcast? Obviously, I know that you're a regular listener, you're a big supporter, a big person in our community. So what's what's been like, out of all the episodes you listen to or the things you've seen on Instagram, what's been your number one takeaway from Finding Your Feet podcast?
I think definitely like around meditation, because being able to listen to the podcast has helped me to like have a good understanding of what it is, and like, you know, it's okay if your mind wanders off or anything like
Yeah.
that. So having a better understanding of meditation, and breath work, such as like Breathe with
Yeah.
James.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also like you speak about like self-help books a lot as well. And I've
Yeah.
like purchased some, like, so now I like try and read a lot of self-help books to like get a better understanding, I guess, of like your mind, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
going on. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely like reading books. Journaling is another one. Like I've tried journaling, but I never would have considered that before the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
So
amazing.
like,
Yeah.
that is good. And also like we've got the WhatsApp group chat, so it's
Oh
good. It
yeah.
feels like a community, and like everyone
Yeah.
talks openly about
Yeah.
anxiety and mental health, and it's good
Mm.
because it reminds you that you're not alone in what you're
Mm.
feeling. You can like talk to everyone in there.
Yeah, exactly. I obviously the WhatsApp group's very new,
It is,
but I'm just so blown away by, because it's not
yeah,
us that make, like, we've obviously put the group together, but you guys asked for it, and you're the ones that are always talking in there amongst yourselves, like, and you are all the ones that are bringing that amazing energy and that like safe space to each other. And it's just it's so beautiful to see, because it just makes you realize how many amazing people there are in this world, because
Yeah.
there's so many of them in that one group chat, and how, you know, you can go on there if you are having a bad day and say, oh, I'm struggling
yeah,
with this, and has anyone got any tips? And oh yeah, and then everyone comes back saying, oh,
yeah,
you should try this meditation, journal this, read this book, or oh, I've had that. And just even someone saying, oh yeah, I've struggled with that too, you then again, you know, you're not alone.
mhm.
So but yeah, it's all you guys that are making that chat what it is, it's not us. So but yeah,
Yeah,
it's amazing. But that's all amazing. I'm so glad that you've taken
that's
away
good.
so many things and you're like, implementing them all in your life.
Yeah.
um
Um,
and
I
really, yeah, it's very inspiring.
And another one as well is manifesting. I just forgot that one,
Oh
but I
right.
feel like that, like I never even knew what that was. Like a few years ago,
Mm,
I'd heard it, but I just never really looked into it. But
yeah.
now, like I always like try and manifest everything I want in my life, and also
Yeah.
like I've got like a good relationship now as well.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I did manifest that in a
Yeah.
weird way.
Yeah.
I have now with like my boyfriend, I feel like
Yeah.
I did manifest it. So I feel like it
Yeah.
is true. Like if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
manifest what you want, you know, you
100%.
can like achieve things, and good things will come your way. So
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
that that is good.
That is beautiful. I'm very happy you have manifested the perfect man. That makes me really happy. You've literally said so many good little tips here. Like, I honestly think the people listening will really enjoy it, especially the thing about saying to feel less alone, because I think that's just the main thing. If we can provide that space for you guys to feel less alone, and also us, because I always feel like I could really turn to that group chat as well.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel
I'm
like I've got like 60 new friends that
Yeah.
are all there for me if I need them. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's just so much love and warmth in it, and it's just beautiful. But thank you so much for sharing all those little tips. Really enjoyed
Yeah.
this little chat.
Yes, thank you for coming on. Yeah, no, it's amazing. Thank you for emailing in your story and being with us today. You know, it's a bit not scary, but I mean, you've got to be quite brave to then come on a podcast and share your story. So
like it
well
feels
done
good
to you.
share, so
Yeah, and your story's going to help so many people as well. So thank you so much, Amy. And thank you for being in our community and always supporting us. We really, really, really appreciate it. And this has just been such a nice opportunity to actually get to chat to you, because I just love speaking to everybody that listens to our podcast. I want to know who they are. I want to hear back from them. So this is such a special moment for us. So thank you so much.
Yeah, massive thank you.
Wow, wasn't Amy's story amazing? She's such a lovely person, beautiful energy, and doing amazing things in the world. But next up, we've got Chris, our final finder of the episode, and his story is very different to Nikki's and Amy's, but I think you're going to get a lot of value out of it as he shares some really, really good little nuggets of wisdom with us. Okay, so we'd just like to welcome Chris on the show, our third finder of the day, who we've been interviewing. Thank you so much for coming on, Chris.
Thank you. I can't believe I actually won it after all of that. It's amazing.
We picked them out of a hat, so the universe chose you to be here today.
Amazing. Thank you.
So if you'd just like to start off by telling us about your own finding your feet journey, like in your own life. I know you explained a little bit of it in the email to us already, but if you explain it obviously to everyone listening now, like, was there a turning point for you? Tell us about your story.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think probably up until I was around 30, I reckon what I've noticed quite recently is that I was quite stuck in that whole victim mentality, and, you know, having quite a lot of blame for everything. And then I broke up with my ex, went through a really rough relationship there, and was just like, this is not what life's about. Like, there's more to life than this, you know? So definitely started on my journey there, you know, self-help books and journaling. Like, I've always written since I was a child, so it's quite natural to me to do that. But then I think like major turning point was definitely going into lockdown. I think that's where the most growth has happened, because I went into it with kind of the intention to want to come out better, and actually deal with stuff, you know, like get uncomfortable and get down to the nitty gritty.
Lovely. So you said a bit in your email, you said about how when you were growing up, like with coming out about your own sexuality, and how, you know, your religion growing up had played into that, and you'd come to that point of like self-acceptance and, you know, releasing the shame and just being comfortable with that, exactly who you are in that sense. I think people would really benefit from hearing from that, because I think it's probably something that quite a lot of people struggle with. So would you be comfortable to share your story about your journey with that you mentioned in the email?
Yeah, for sure. So I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, which is fairly strict as a religion and quite limiting. But it's actually only recently that I've kind of, after doing this work, that I've actually been realizing how much of an effect that's had on my life up until this point, and how kind of limiting religion is. But yeah, I came out when I was 18, so just turned 18, moved out at the same time because it was just a bit awkward, you know, being under the same roof as people still practicing, basically. But my mum and dad were amazing. They were really supportive and, upset. How they didn't know, I don't have a clue. But really, really supportive, which was great. And I just kind of started to think back about it and basically journaling on it, and came to the, things started popping up, when you're thinking about something and things randomly pop up. And I remember being around a table at one of my mum's friends and, holding hands with them, praying to like not be gay, I guess, in a sense, which looking back now is absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? That's how are you supposed to accept yourself if you've been brought up to be told that is not accepted, and with stain, from practicing it and stuff. Like,
truly are.
Unreal. And that was very, very recent discovery, which blew my mind.
No, I think you've been thank you for sharing that. I know it's probably quite a vulnerable thing to share, but I think, obviously people have their different faiths and religions, and when you're brought up in that, you're programmed into that thinking the same way, like whatever your parents tell you when you grow up, we're sponges, and that's where we start to program all our beliefs and how we view the world and everything. So obviously you were growing up in a religion that didn't accept your sexuality, and that must have been really, really difficult to be brave and come out at 18 and then have to move out, and that experience of holding hands and praying for you to not be that way, to then still stay true to yourself and be who you are, be confident in that, and be you despite all of that, and your whole life experience telling you that wasn't okay, is such a powerful, brave thing to do. And I think the number one thing that we all need to do in life is just be more of ourselves, because we're ourselves for a reason, and we all need to just be us. So that is such an amazing story, and I think that like so many people really benefit from hearing that. Maybe people that now that are in a similar situation that haven't got to that point where they've been able to come out and really be who they are, just seeing how you've done it and hearing it and seeing like that it is possible will really help so many people. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was also going to say, like, as you just said, I feel like there's so much power in like standing true in your authentic self. And you can really see that from you. Like, you've got such a good energy, like on Instagram. Like, I love seeing all your stuff because you can see that like you've done the work and you're in your authentic self. So it's really beautiful. But how is life for you now? How is life for Chris? What are the main things you do? What are you into? I know we've seen on your Instagram you're reading quite a lot of books. You're reading Stephen Bartlett's new one that me and Grace is currently reading at the minute, which is amazing. But yeah, what are you getting up to?
Epic. So I have literally just gone back to work. So I run a pub in Battersea as well. So I've been furloughed. But then during that furlough, I retrained. So as a life coach, because I kind of feel like in doing that work, I've actually found myself.
Yeah.
Like you say, like your most authentic self. Like I really feel like I know who I am now, and I accept myself. And the power that that's given me has been amazing. Like I have an amazing life coach. Very, very strange how it all came about. Like I saw an ad on Instagram. He actually has a journal, so it's part of journaling as well. But he's also an amazing life coach, and it literally just popped up. And I bought the journal, and it's just been an amazing thing since then. Like I really strongly that suggest, it's so, when people say, about investing into yourself and stuff, it's so worth it. Like it really is. If you really want to operate from such a high level for yourself, then you've got to do the work, haven't you? You've got to get uncomfortable, and you've just got to kind of be vulnerable and have hard conversations with family and friends, and it's so important. But so that has been really positive for me. I'm going to be launching a side hustle, I guess you'd say, as a life coach, getting set up soon, which is really exciting. And then
That's amazing.
I think I mentioned to you guys that I was working on a podcast as well, which this is great experience. So thank you.
Yeah, a bit of practice.
Just because I feel like, you know, with you guys, and there's so many people out there on this journey together. And I think the more we all connect and the more that we all actually keep doing what we're doing, think of how many more people we can reach. Like, it's not even scratched the surface, you know. And coming out of lockdown, mental health is going to be so key. Like, people have really struggled. I think myself on the third one, I found it the worst for sure. Like, I was quite lonely and, you know, but kept my head in a book and decorating and stuff. But so I feel really in flow at the moment with life, and things are just happening. Yeah, it's you can get kind of stuck, can't you, in that, like, comparing yourself, you know, to who you want to be, and comparing yourself to others. But actually, I've through the life coaching and stuff, I now look at comparing myself to who I was yesterday, 6 months ago, a year ago, and actually I'm damn proud of who I am today. And it's
that's amazing.
It's been great. Yeah, I'm happy, like, genuinely feel happy. Like, I just it's bizarre. And, you know, it's great.
No, everybody deserves to be happy and should feel happy, you know, for most. Like, obviously we're not all going to feel buzzing every day, we're going to have things, but
no,
as a whole, everyone deserves to enjoy their life and feel happy. So that's amazing that you've been retraining as a life coach and following your passion with that, and being brave to start a podcast. It's amazing, and podcast is such a good way to help other people, and like you said, connect. And you never know how much your story can impact other people. Like you today on this podcast, sharing your story, your unique story will really help somebody else. You never know how much actually you can have an impact on someone. So that's really amazing. I love that you're changing your route and going down there, and you're feeling very in flow. It's so good. So yes, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your next step and your next journey.
Thank you.
But
I think the biggest thing I've taken away as well, was just
go on.
It's taking the action, like doing the work. You know, you've got to take it, and the moment you do, you just suddenly look up or start thinking things, and it's like, oh my God, like, I'm doing it. Like, the changes are happening. And your intuition, and it's such an amazing guide for that. You know, you've got to tune into it.
Yes, definitely. Sure. I loved what you said as well when you were like, you're in competition now with yourself.
I was about to say that.
Rather than comparing with other people, because that is where people get stuck and they think, oh, this person's at this point in their life and they're the same age as me or whatever, so I should be there too. And always looking outside, and when actually all you need to do is, it's just you versus you. You're your own competition. Like, just aim to be, 1% better than the person you were yesterday, and you're going to keep growing and growing. And everyone's path is so unique and perfect. Like, everything happens perfectly for their growth, so that they can do what they need to do, follow their passions and do what they love. And you just have to just focus on you. Like, you can't compare yourself to anybody else. Like, we're all amazing as we are, and our journeys are unfolding exactly as they're meant to, like, individually for all of us. And obviously yours sounds like it's unfolding and going into a really exciting new chapter. So we're excited for you. We're excited for your podcast to launch and all of that.
Oh God, don't. I'm so nervous.
No, just go for it. Just go for it. It'll be so good. And that's the amazing thing about, like, the internet is now you can put out a podcast, a blog, a YouTube channel, and talk about what you love, and the people that love what you love will find it and will engage with your content and join your community. And I think sometimes people get scared thinking, who no one's going to listen, and when actually, because of the internet, we have access to all the 7 billion other humans that are on this planet. Out of that 7 billion people, there's going to be people that resonate with you, that want to hear what you've got to say. So just go for it. Don't hold back. You'll be really good. Life is about stepping outside your comfort zone and doing what scares you. That's where you make, the big steps.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed. So
Sure.
what has been some of the practices that have impacted your life the most? So where you were saying, you struggled in the third lockdown and, you mentioned journaling and things like that. But for some of the other finders that are listening, some of the other people in the community that are listening now that are on their own, like finding their feet journey, what are some of the tools that you've used that have made you feel better, that have helped you get closer to feeling happy and feeling like you are content with yourself, that other people could do as well?
I think having a routine is key.
Mm-hmm.
How you do that is, up to you, and for how long is up to you. Read The Miracle Morning, which is an amazing book that goes into detail about different practices you can do, in an hour or 6 minutes a day, whatever you have. So, I mean, for me, I kind of associate it with the task I'd be doing anyway. So
Yeah.
I'd get up, straight out of bed, grab a coffee, and then I would make that like my journal time. So I
Mm-hmm.
journal in the morning. I do a gratitude diary every morning. Just 5-6 things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
What was good about yesterday, and then I will do like a guided meditation or a visualization, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I find the affirmations quite hard sometimes because you look like a bit of a
Yeah.
knob, don't you, standing in the mirror like, I am enough, I'm great. But
Yeah.
actually, I watched an amazing YouTube, I think Marissa Peer,
Yeah.
who's an amazing, my God. So I now actually have I am enough written on all my
Oh,
mirrors in my house.
yeah. That's amazing.
Like that changed me. And like I walk around and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, and it makes you read it,
Yeah.
But now, for sure, power pose and all sorts. It's
Oh, wow. Love that.
just do it. It's great.
Yeah.
You just
No.
feel the energy and the buzz from it, don't you? And it makes you feel even better. So,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Marissa Peer is amazing, actually. And when at that I am enough affirmation that she always says, that when I first heard that, I was like, oh my God, this is revolutionary. And that I kept writing that down and saying that to myself. It's so powerful. So that's amazing that you've got
So
it on all your
powerful.
mirrors. I love that.
And you look like, because you're reading Happy Sexy Millionaire, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think I won't ruin it for you, but yeah, the last chapter's amazing, and the way it's summed
really?
up is just epic. I actually got on a Zoom call with him the other night, which was
Yeah, I know.
so
I saw
powerful.
that because we're in that chat as well with him. And as soon as I was waiting all day for, I was waiting all day for that Zoom link to come in. I was thinking, when's he going to do it? And it literally came in. I was like, oh my God. I went and like sent the link to myself because I wanted to log in on my computer and do it rather than doing it on my phone. And honestly, it was about 30 seconds after he sent the link and the Zoom meeting was already full. And I was like, oh my God, like 100 people were already in it in seconds. And then, we saw your story that you'd gone in and I was like, oh.
How was it?
Yeah,
was it good?
My God, the guy, do you know what? For someone that's 27, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 28, yeah.
28. It's insane. Like but the value that he gives, and he's so raw and authentic with how he answers things because, he's worked up from the ground, literally. And it's just listening to him and the advice he's got for people and the fact that he's so, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Give stuff away, basically. Value.
It just gives a lot of value, doesn't it?
Generous?
Yeah, generous, that's it, yeah. So it's very, with his time, but also, I mean, someone ran an internship on that call.
Oh, I know,
Like,
I saw
incredible. That's going to change their life.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is amazing.
And he's not even scratched the surface, I don't think. Like,
no,
he's going
to do big things. I mean, he's already done big things, but he's going to do loads more.
Yeah.
Like us all. I love listening to you speak. I really love how far you've come. Like, you can really tell you've put in the work. So I think that's something we have to do. Like, we can all have these ideas, but to actually like put in the work, do the journaling. And especially, I feel like a theme throughout today, talking to you guys, has been this thing of when lockdown came, it was like that turning point, like, what do I do now? Do I maybe like self-sabotage, or do I really knuckle down? And like we did that as well. Like I feel like literally everyone probably, because we've not dealt with this before, have we? So it was kind of like that decision, are you going to really knuckle down on it, or are you going to do something else? And I feel like you really knuckled down on it, and now you're going to become a life coach and everything like that. It's very inspiring. So we wanted to know as well, so you've said what kind of practices you do, which sound really great. Do you have like one little nugget of wisdom, or maybe it was like a light bulb moment that happened to you that you want to share with our other listeners that you think could potentially help them?
Stop. Like, actually just stop for a second and stop looking for it, and actually just hear what's right in front of you and what's in you, because there's so much inside of you that has the answers. And actually, you know, we're all trying to be so much better and trying to be where we want to be in a year tomorrow, and it's okay. Like, just chill, you know, with just as long as you're better than you were yesterday, or you were, you know, you're doing the work, like I'm saying, take action and that kind of thing, then you're on the right track. And like you said earlier, you know, everything happens at the right time. It really does. And you have to go through all these things in life to, you know, maybe to harden you up, to prepare you for something life's going to throw at you. Who knows? But I think look for the blessing, you know, in every, there's always a lesson. And looking back, you know, I've been through toxic relationships where there was abuse and all sorts. And I can actually sit here today and say to you guys, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought I would say that. And like, I forgive him, you know, it doesn't, he's obviously a very sick person. It's not, you know, it's just to be able to do that, I think is just, just learn, take action from the lesson, I think.
Yeah, beautiful answer. I love that.
No, you should be very proud of yourself, like, to have got to that point where you can say, you can see even in your hardest moments what the blessings were, what the lessons were, even though it was so difficult, and, you know, forgive that person as well. That's a very strong, courageous and brave point to get to. And like you said, you'd moved yourself out of this victim mindset, and you can really tell that you have done that from everything that you've said. So that's, I just think that's such a nice little nugget of wisdom. And just love it. So thank you.
Thank you.
But just our final question, what has been your biggest takeaway from the Finding Your Feet podcast? Like, could have been in an episode or things we post on Instagram, but
do you know what it was? I know exactly, actually. So I started randomly listening to it, and I think it was on around limiting beliefs or something like that. And then James Dowler, Breath with James.
Breathe with James.
He's amazing. I do his classes as well. And it was like every week when you were releasing a podcast, you were in my head. And I was like,
people say that a lot, don't they?
Like, what's happening? Every subject that was discussed, every topic was just like, what the hell? So, and I just think being authentic and real, like, you guys don't hold back, you know, and I think that's what the world needs more of. You just got to be authentic and kindly honest.
You
know?
you.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll attract everything that's for you.
Yeah, exactly. When you're just being yourself. I love that. That's really funny that you said that about how you felt like we were in your head, because quite a few people say that, like, when an episode comes out, they're like, what the hell? I needed to hear this, or I was just thinking about this recently. And it's like we're all in sync or something. But
all vibing.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that. Thank you so much, Chris, for coming on, sharing your story, being brave, and you're going to have inspired so many people. I'm really excited to see what you do with your life coaching business and your podcast, and everything.
Yes.
Like,
I'll have you guys on. I'll return the favour.
No, we'll come on.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I'd love, that'll push me to do it.
We'd love to come on.
We're excited to see it flourish.
So thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story and your wisdom with us today, and being part of our community.
You're so welcome.
and listening to our podcast, supporting us. We really, really, really appreciate it. We love to actually speak to the people that listen to our podcast and chat to you on Instagram and actually connect with you, because otherwise what's the point? You're just talking into an empty microphone.
Exactly.
So I'm really thank you for emailing in and messaging us and being with us today.
No, thank you. And I'll just say on a closing note, like the fact that you do that and that you do respond and you do acknowledge your listeners makes that listener feel valued, and I think that goes a long way. It's great. Thank you.
I feel so emotional last day. It's been so lovely, like speaking to you all. It's been so nice. I'm like, it's been amazing. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
No, thank you, guys. Great to meet you.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We enjoyed recording this episode so much. And as you heard in there, we're so thankful for the guys that came on the podcast, but we're also so thankful for you for supporting us over this last year. We would be absolutely nothing without you listening on the other end. So massive thank you for you and all your support.
Yes, the community around this podcast is the most important thing. And we obviously come on here every week and try and provide you with as much value as possible. And it was so nice to connect with the finders on the episode today and hear what are their biggest takeaways from our podcast, because we want to know what you learn from us so that we can give you more of it. But it's all about the community, and we wanted to use our 1 year anniversary episode to celebrate you guys, because you are part of this. You are here with us. When we speak behind this microphone, we feel like you're there with us, and we just love the connection that's built, the group chat, everything, the connection in the workshops and on Instagram. Like, it's all about you. So thank you so much for your support over the last year. We're really, really excited about where the next year is going to go, not just for us, but for you. We're really, really excited for where your growth journey is going to go, your personal development journey, the knowledge we're going to bring you and how that's going to impact you. And just what levels you're all going to go to. I'm excited. We're all rising up together and growing together. We're all finding our feet together. And the community is the most important thing. So thank you so much for being a part of it. Every like, comment, message we get, share, download, it means the world to us. And we're beyond grateful for all of you.
Yeah, we are. It literally makes me emotional. And we did talk quite a lot in this episode about our lovely little finders group chat. So if you're not involved with that and you do really want to get involved and have that support and feel less alone like we spoke about in this episode, then please just give us a message on Instagram. It's open to anyone.
Yeah, it's on WhatsApp, and so anyone, whatever. We've got people in different countries that are part of this chat. So just come message us on Instagram, ask us, send us your number, and we will add you to the chat, and you'll gain loads of new friends and a support network in there, because I think it's the nicest group chat in the world. But thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode and for joining us on the journey so far. We're really, really excited for the future and what's going to come for us all, for us and for you. But thank you so much for being here with us. And if you like the podcast, make sure you hit subscribe if you're listening on Apple Podcasts so you never miss our episodes, and leave us a review for your chance to be featured in Review of the Week next week. And if you're listening on Spotify, hit follow so you never miss our episodes. We release them every single Wednesday and on a Sunday.
Yeah, and as you heard in this episode, we talked a lot about meditation, as we always do. We absolutely love a bit of meditation. So on our website, we do have our own range of meditations and affirmations that you can go and check out. We have a whole range of different topics planned and recorded by us. So if you are interested in those, you can go check them out at findingyourfeetpodcast.com.
Yes, and we also spoke a lot about Instagram. That's where our main community is, as well as the group chat. So come and connect with us on there at Finding Your Feet Podcast. Come and follow us. Come and chat to us. We love commenting back and messaging you guys. So yes, come and follow us on Instagram at Finding Your Feet Podcast. If you also want to sign up to our mailing list, every Monday morning we email you positive, wisdom-filled email, no annoying marketing, just a download from our soul to yours with just something nice to start your week off right on the right foot, something positive. So if you want to sign up for our emails, the link is in the show notes.
And if you do want to watch our Wednesday episodes on YouTube, we are waving at you now. You can come and watch them every week. The Finding Your Feet podcast is our channel name, and we will leave that in the show notes for you.
Yeah, come and subscribe. And if you are watching on YouTube right now, like the video, leave us a comment and all the things you do on there. But thank you so much for joining us on the journey, guys. It's been magical. It's been beautiful. And I can't wait to see where it goes over the next year. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.